I need an ambulance and please.
Okay, hold on. What's going on? You said he's being shot?
Yes, please.
Shot with what?
A gun, baby. Can you get an ambulance?
Yes.
8 Palm Avenue. No, it was an accident. A gun, baby. A gun, baby. A gun, baby.
This I can't stand this dispatcher.
Has there ever been any history of domestic violence between the two of you?
There was an incident. I broke my foot.
Shoot out when you get home that next day. I told Ashley, I said, I'm gonna start videoing your ass.
Oh no, I reach and grab her on the hip and squeeze. Like she'd be like, I love you. I'll squeeze on the hip, roll over and give me a kiss. I'll make her roll over. That way she knows that I let her know before I left.
We're laying in the bed, and at first I hear them unstrap it. And so normally he
Who
gets
unstrap it?
the boys.
Has the gun ever been left on the nightstand before?
I will be waiting.
Meet Jonathan Sharp, a DNR Ranger in Georgia, entrusted with the critical responsibility of managing wildlife resources and ensuring the safety of hunting practices. A Georgia DNR Ranger, whose duty it is to promote and adhere to stringent gun safety protocols, inadvertently left his firearm accessible at home, leading to a tragic accident resulting in the Ranger being shot in the arm. This incident underscores the paramount importance of rigorous gun safety measures to prevent such avoidable tragedies. As always, thank you for watching, and please comment what you think. Did the child really do it? The story seems to unravel as ex-cop Tiffany Davis forgets her script. All crime scene images and documents, including domestic violence history, can be found on shieldsofshame.com. All links are in the description, and as always, I look forward to reading your comments on what you think happened.
What kind of outlook are they giving him for the therapy and all as far as getting, is he right-handed?
6 months fully recovery. About 3 months, he should be, if his therapy goes good, he should be making it pretty well.
Did they have to put a rod in there or anything?
There's a metal plate in there.
Yeah. Is he the type to do what they tell him to do, or is he going to be bullheaded?
No, he's going to do what they tell him to do. Yes.
Oh, she said that one.
Like she was really going to be the one telling him that.
When it comes to it, he's going to do, because this is, everybody has a job. It's like going to a job.
Yeah.
But he has a job that he loves, so it's not a job. It's more of, this is my life. So if that means he gets to get back on the job, he's going to do whatever he has to do to get there. So.
Oh, okay.
So how did he get, was he always a big hunter and fisherman? I was the same way when I was growing up. DNR was kind of my I thought, they give him a boat, a four-wheeler, and a pickup truck. What more could you ask for?
I thought the same thing. When I started looking into law enforcement, I was like, I love to hunt. I don't really like to fish. My dad loved to fish. But I like being out on the water. So I started talking to a couple of DNR guys, and they were like, oh, you love to hunt? I was like, yeah. He's like, when do you think our busiest time is?
Yeah, you'll never be able to hunt.
I was like, I'm guessing during hunting season and fishing and season and stuff. He's like, yeah.
But it's crazy because their schedules are not like, when I worked at dispatch, it was like 5:45 to 5:45. Every other day you were off.
Yeah.
I think he said they have to have so many hours, and once they get those hours, but if something happens in your county, you're right. You got to go.
Yeah.
But that was interesting, because I think y'all told us that morning that it was like he was planning to go to work. He was
planning to go to work.
Changed his mind, said he was going to hang out with y'all and do it later or something. I thought, man, I picked the wrong state agency.
I know. I ask him sometimes. I know he's still on FTO, but then he said he get to make his own schedule. And I'm like, okay, let me see. On these days, I need to do this. On these days, I need to do that.
You can't beat the flexibility, especially with y'all having the boys and all. How are they doing? I know that was probably scary for JJ. And
it never happened.
Really?
It never happened.
Tiffany, I want to clarify a couple things, and we don't want to waste much of your time. I know we got a pretty good statement from you that day at the hospital. We spent a little more time with you than we did with Jonathan, obviously, just because of the pain he was in and then them trying to get him to surgery. But I wanted to make sure that I'd heard you right about your older two boys.
the older,
The
the 10
older-
and the 12?
Right.
Okay, they're a boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl, I'm sorry. Who were they with when this happened?
They were with their father. Every other weekend they go with their father.
The other thing we talked a little bit about, and that I probably couldn't read my notes. Has there ever been a time like this where the kids had access to it in the past? Or is this the only time y'all have caught?
This is the only time they've had access to his weapon.
Had you had any concerns about where that gun was being left in your house? So, I mean, Jonathan, did you ever have a habit of sitting it somewhere where you thought that might be a bad place because the kids could get it? Or
Not his guns. Not
any
his
other
guns.
weapons?
Not weapons.
Okay.
It's like work stuff, like keys and stuff, because babies love keys, and you know, him getting ready for work is,
Yeah.
you seen my keys, you seen this, you seen that, and I'm like, put your stuff in your basket, so they won't get it.
Where's that
But-
basket at?
It's on his, it's on the, so when you walk into the room, did you see the big window here?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see in that corner, it's like a love seat, and then in the corner, it's a, what do they call that, a chest? Is that a chest? The taller one, not the one with the mirror. It's on that one. Yeah, it's on the chest, so it's on the tallest one.
And Tiffany, the reason I asked is that I went back this morning and was looking at the body cam from some of the officers that went out. There was personal ones in your door. And I heard a conversation that y'all were having where you made the comment a couple times actually about, I've been trying to tell him to move these guns, to get them put up somewhere. You remember saying that?
Where was that when it happened?
Right here. I just told him to put that.
And what happened now?
So we're laying in the bed, and at first I hear them unstrap it. And so normally he
Who
gets up,
unstrap it?
The boys.
The little ones.
He gets up early in the morning to do like day hunting for DNR, but he didn't get up to go to work this morning. He's gonna go in around noon. So we were laying in the bed. We're all in the bed, and the boys were down there playing. But he laid it on the. You see the two shoe ottomans because he was gonna get up early. So he laid it there. So he gets. I get it. Slow down, Tiffany.
You go ahead.
Take it from them, and I'm like, they've got your gun. So we take it, and he puts it on the side, and I was like, I told you, you need to put it. He's got a basket, put it up over there, or put it over here. And he was like, I was gonna get up really early in the morning. I was like, okay, well.
That was in reference to the incident that happened that day. And I've always told him, you need to keep your stuff put up.
Yeah.
But it's not the guns, it's just your stuff in general. You have to put your stuff up so they don't get it.
Okay.
But that particular day, it was a gun versus your keys, or a gun versus your notepad, or other stuff you're looking for when it's time for you to go to work.
So make sure I'm understanding you. Was that statement regarding him putting the gun on the nightstand? Were you not happy with that? Because it was something where you were telling officers, I've been telling him to move that thing. I've been telling him to move the gun, to put it up, or something. Was it the nightstand that you didn't agree with, or was it something else?
Because I was all over the place that day. That would have been it was in regards to that day. Me continuing to say, I told him to put that, I've told him to put that up. I told him, and that could have been all of that. Like I said, that's all of his stuff, because we always have that conversation when he's asking me stuff about his stuff.
I got you. Has the gun ever been left on the nightstand before?
Mm-mm.
What about on the ottoman?
Mm-mm.
Anywhere else within reach like that?
No. And the nightstand is my side of the bed, so I would know.
So if I'm standing at the foot of, looking at the headboard, that right side
That
is where
right
you
side
stay.
by the door is where I sleep.
And I know we talked about this too a little bit at the hospital, and I've still got you.
Yes.
Describe for us again, to make sure we understand what you're telling us, how y'all were laying in the bed when the shot was fired.
So when we were all in the bed, and to be honest, he and I talked about it. He's like, Tiffany, I was up. I was getting ready to get up. Because the way I described it to you all, and the way that I understood it was, I thought he had his arm around me. What? But from his understanding, he said he was sitting up, he was getting ready to get up. But I know it was something that we were watching on TV. So the way he described it, I was like, okay, well, that makes more sense, because all I remember was a pop. I remember a slang, and I remember a pop. And everything else was like a blur. But from my understanding, the last thing that I could remember before we were watching something on TV is that his arm was around me.
Okay, so you would have been laying on which side, the right or the left?
I would have been laying on the left, because I think from when we talked about it, and I was like, no, I was here. He was like, no, Tiffany, I was here. So he would have been laying in bed. I would have been on, I want to say, the left side of him. This is the left. The right side of him. And he would have been on the left, on this side.
So he would have been closer to your nightstand?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know. All I do remember is at our feet. I do remember that much.
Because I think the way I remember you describing it at the hospital
And the way that
last week was that he was laying right here. No, I'm sorry, you were laying right here, and he
there.
had his arm wrapped around you.
And that's how I described it. But then, like I said, when he came to and we were talking in the hospital, he was like, no, the way he described it really made more sense to me. And I was like, well, okay. But
So he described it to you that he was getting up?
he was about to, I knew we were up because something was on the TV that all three of us, me, him, and Zion, were paying attention to. And so I'm trying to play this whole thing back in my head.
I understand. Take your time. I mean, I'm not rushing you, and I'm not trying to ask silly questions either. But
No. Because I'm trying to remember from when we heard the pop. He would have been on this side. No? He would have been on this side, I'm assuming, with his arm this way. I'm thinking he would have been on my right side. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking I would have been here, closer to the nightstand. Because I know I looked up, and then I saw JJ after we heard the pop.
Who got out of bed first? Do you remember that?
I got out of bed first.
And that would make sense if you were on that side, right?
I mean, either or, because I can jump off either side. Or jump here. I don't even remember which way I got off, but I got out of the bed first.
But I'm assuming y'all went directly to JJ.
So I got out of bed first. And I did take it. Jonathan said I took it from him. I took it from him. And then I swooped him up. And then I got my phone. And that's when I called.
As far as the gun being moved from the first time we took it from JJ when we sat on the nightstand, was that you or Jonathan that put it there?
Jonathan put it there.
He put it there. Did you move anything else? Did you pick up a holster or do anything like that, or was that him too?
I might have taken the holster.
Do you remember, because keep in mind, see, I still haven't seen the entrance and the exit ones. Do you remember where those were on Jonathan's arm?
No, I just know it's between here.
Okay, so it was on the inside and on the top?
Yeah, it went out at an angle, I think.
Okay.
That's the way they explained it at the doctor's office or at the hospital. And it didn't hit any of it shattered his radius, but it didn't hit any of his nerves.
That's good.
That's really good.
I know we asked you earlier, and you obviously didn't have any injuries, and your adrenaline's going to be pumping in that moment anyway, but do you remember feeling like any kind of heat, any burns,
I had them to look at me because I thought I felt, I guess it was kind of like in the moment, but I almost felt like something, like I felt a niche or something, but nothing was on me.
Where did you feel that?
Like around my backside.
Low back? And that kind of leads me to another question I want to ask. And before I ask this question, Tiffany, understand I don't do this to pry into people's personal affairs. And, all three of us are adults sitting here. But we talked in the hospital about there being some cuddling, some tickling, and some playing or anything. Were y'all having sex when this happened or engaged in any kind of activity like that? Were y'all fooling around or doing anything in bed when the shot was fired?
No. All of us were in the bed together, and it was kind of like a horseplay thing. And we always horseplay. Okay. Even with the other ones, we don't. The bigger ones, they don't horseplay in our bed unless we're all in the room together and they come in the room. But we all horseplay all over the house.
And the only reason I ask that is we've still got to get the trajectory right of where that bullet came through this, and just trying to make it match the arm. And that's the biggest thing. I'm trying to see how y'all are laying so we can get that answer, and then that's pretty much be it.
And he said he was getting up. Trying to think. So, arm over this side. Maybe leaning up that way, using his arm to push up off the bed. If he was trying to get up.
He said he was going to work. He was going to work around noon. So he was getting ready to get up, but something caught all of our attention on TV, and Jonathan, and Zion are looking at the TV.
Tiffany, the other thing, and this is the last thing I guess I've got in mind, just cases like this, we have to go through and check all the boxes. Has there ever been any history of domestic violence between the two of you?
There was an incident after JJ was born between the two of us, but nothing ever since that day.
Give me the Cliff Notes version of that. What was the extent of the violence?
I broke my foot from that incident.
Okay.
But it was more like a run out of the house, trip on the porch, broke my foot type. But
why were you running out of the house?
I was running from Jonathan.
Was he coming at you? Was he actively coming after you?
I know, I ran out of the house to go to the neighbor's house. And I think I ran out of the front door. He wasn't running behind me when I ran out of the front door.
Okay. Was that on Palm?
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2018.
Okay. Any weapons involved?
No.
Did you have to call the ambulance?
But when you call the police, the whole crew comes.
Oh, you did call the police?
Mm-hmm. So there is a record of that incident.
What questions do you have for us? Any?
I was going to actually call you today.
Okay.
Just to see what,
Yeah. We're trying, the reason that we wanted to catch you this morning is we're trying to be done with everything for our sake and then for Jonathan's sake too.
Mm-hmm.
Just so y'all can focus on him getting better and recovering and not having some kind of case opened up,
Mm-hmm.
Over you have. So I don't really have any updates. I mean, other than to say we're trying to clarify a few minor details like this with you this morning.
And I understand. I'm sorry that my mind is not, I can't pinpoint. And that's something that I really wish I could do, like pinpoint, like almost like a Disney scene where you can just, whatever Kelly had me watching something last night and it was like a rewind where you can go back and see.
Yeah, but stressful events don't work like that. You can't really rewind.
I know. But I do want to make sure I'm accurate, and I'm accurate to the point where I'm saying how I remember it.
Yeah.
And that's all we ask of anybody. I mean, we know, we don't, I mean, God knows I couldn't tell you what you ever drive somewhere and you think, I don't remember passing anything. I mean, I drove an hour to Thomasville this morning. I couldn't remember anything about that drive. So we know how people's minds work in different ways. The only thing we ask is just people to be honest. If they don't know something, tell us they don't know.
Yeah.
But be honest about what they do know. So.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing we both talked about. We told the truth,
Yeah.
no matter what the truth was. We moved it the one time and we put it on he put it on the nightstand, which that could have been a detail that was left out. But that was necessary to let you know that it was done.
Yeah, that's right.
And as long as we were honest and we were truthful.
Yep.
And when I tell this story to my brother, they're like, well, why? And I say, well, we can't say why he, because when he said it there, I'm 37 years old. Those are my kids. They're his too, but those are my kids. So I should have moved that when it was set on the nightstand, after I had knowledge that it was even out for them to get it. So I can't say, well, and I can't listen to where yes, true enough, it shouldn't have been on the ottoman, but at that point when he moved it to the nightstand, I should have moved that from the nightstand.
Yeah.
So, it is.
I thank the good Lord it didn't turn out any worse than
Yes,
what it could have.
and I say that too. If not me, then who? Most people, you hear about it, they're driving and they have a gun in the glove compartment. So a parent goes in the store, come back out, boom, you have an incident. Or kids get into them even higher up in the closet. They're going to find a way to get to what they want. And then you have, the
Or they get it when the
unfortunate
parents
thing.
aren't home.
Yeah. So, and he said the other day, he was like, I'm glad it was me. But then I'm like, I wish it wasn't anybody, but I mean, it was you and it wasn't the kids and it wasn't me, so
Yeah.
I hate that it was him and I hate the situation that's going on, but it's life and everything happens for a reason. If we could change it, we would change it. If everybody can change a horrible spot in their life, everybody will be perfect, but God didn't intend for us all to be perfect.
No,
He intended for somebody to learn from somebody's mistakes, so.
I heard a preacher say one time, if you never had a problem, how would you know that he could solve it?
Absolutely. So,
But I
we
appreciate you
live and
talking
we
to
love
us.
it. You're welcome.
Once we get done with everything and are able to close it out or are able to finish it up, at least on our side, me or Chris will call you and let you know.
Okay.
Or Jonathan or one of you, both of you, just so y'all kind of up to date on everything.
Okay.
All right.
I will be waiting.
Walk me through kind of what happened this morning.
So the boys don't sleep in the room with us. Their room is all the way to the back. So this morning, we were in the room and just laying around watching TV, playing, and the boys had gotten out of the bed from us from when they came in. And it's 2 shoe. Have you been to the house yet?
I've been there, but I didn't go in there and.
Okay. So in the bedroom, it's 2 like ottomans. Which I call them shoe ottomans because that's what's on the inside of them. And so last night, Jonathan laid his weapon there because he was going to get up and go to work early this morning. But he decided not to and didn't move the weapon. So we heard Velcro. And I'm like, Jay, he has your weapon. I call him Jay too. So Jay, he has your weapon. So he got the weapon from him then. So then all of us were, and he laid it on the nightstand on the left side of the bed. So we're in the bed again, and we're just laying around, and then all of a sudden we heard a pop. It was just that quick. And I mean, it wasn't directly after he gotten it back from him, but we had been in there playing for at least another 30, 45 minutes or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then we heard a pop, and that's when I looked, and I saw JJ with the gun. And then when I turned back around, that's when I noticed Jonathan had been hit. And I jump up and go crazy looking for my phone.
Where does he normally put his weapon?
He normally puts his weapon either up on, it's a Chester, where it's like a basket where he puts like all of his work stuff in that he takes off, or he'll put it up in the closet where they can't get it. 95% of the time it's in the closet, but if he's taking off stuff where he's taking badges and all this other stuff out of his pocket, it's up in his basket where neither one of them can reach it.
Okay. But his reason for putting it on the ottoman last night was he was going to get up early this morning. What changed? Why didn't he go in?
I don't know.
Okay.
They kind of, I don't know how their schedule works. And he's still, what is it?
FTO.
FTO, I think that's what it's called. So he doesn't really know his schedule yet, I guess. He really doesn't know. But he has the option where if he tells them, well, I'm going to go in early or whatever, they're okay with it.
Cool. When you heard the Velcro, I'm trying to get a sense of the timeline. Was it after daylight this morning?
Oh, yes. It was after daylight.
Okay. Where was everybody at when you heard the Velcro?
Jonathan and I were in the bed, and the babies were in front of the ottoman, so they had to move it off of the ottoman.
But were they on the actual bed, or were they down there?
They were down on the floor. So it's the bed, the ottoman, the floor.
To make sure we understand what you're telling us, how y'all were laying in the bed when the shot was fired.
So when we were all in the bed, so they were actually on the floor.
I guess just playing down there. The two of y'all, are y'all fully awake? You watching TV, talking to each other, or you just kind of dozing on and off? What?
Oh no, we're fully awake, just kind of like playing around in the bed.
I got you. When you hear the Velcro, what do y'all do? Well, let me ask you this. Who heard it? Both of y'all, or did you hear it and punch him and say, he's got it?
We were playing around, and then I heard something, and I said, Jay, he has your service weapon, and we both looked up and jumped up at the same time.
I got you. And when you both looked up like that at the same time, describe for me how your son was holding it.
I don't even remember. I just know he had it in his hand.
Okay.
Almost, I guess he was kind of like this.
Hand out kind of out in front of him. Was it still in the ankle holster? Could you tell?
They had taken it out of it.
All right. Did Jonathan get up?
He got up and he took it from him.
Where did he put it then?
On the nightstand. Did
he put it back in the holster, or did he just sit it right there?
He put it back. He just set it on the nightstand. The holster was beside it. I think he just set it on the nightstand. Because I don't even remember hearing Velcro.
We're laying in the bed, and at first I hear them unstrap it.
During this, if I would have heard the Velcro, of course, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, that Velcro's a very distinctive.
Ears like a dog.
Yeah, that Velcro's a very distinctive noise. My wife don't like it when I come home late in the middle of the night. That Velcro comes off.
Shoot out when you get home that next day. I told Ashley, I said, I'm gonna start videoing your ass.
Oh no, I reach to grab her on the hip and squeeze. Like she'd be like, I'll squeeze on the hip, roll over and give me a kiss. I'll make her roll over. That way she knows that I let her know before I left.
So Tiffany, after we set the gun on the nightstand and the holster's probably, we think, laying beside it, what's the next thing? Is that the shot, the next thing that happens?
We're in the bed. And like I said, it's about 30, 45 minutes. We're just in the bed, playing around, wrestling around with the boys. And we were two just laying in the bed. And I don't even remember JJ getting down. All of that is a blur to me. But then all I heard is a pop.
So when you hear the pop, obviously you're startled. I can only imagine. But what did y'all do at that point?
I jumped up. And Jonathan, he jumps up too. And then I think he grabbed the weapon from JJ, or I don't remember who grabbed the weapon from JJ, but I know JJ's freaking out because he's crying because I guess we startled him because of what happened. So I pick him up and I turn around and I look, and then that's when Jonathan's bleeding and he's like, call 911. So now I'm looking for my phone. I grab my phone and I kind of grab the other baby as well, and that's when I get 911 on the line. And I'm calling her and I'm talking calmly to her, and I have to apologize to her if she thought I was being rude because she was so sweet. But I was trying to tell her this is what happened, this is the address, send EMS, send the police if you have to, but nobody else is injured. He was shot. It's no danger, no harm. You know, I can't stay on the phone and talk to you, but I can sit it down if you want me to. And so I got to the back. I got a rag at first, and I took it to him. He was like, I need a towel. So I go back to the back. I get a towel, and at this point, he's made it out of the bedroom. He's now in the kitchen. And I give him the towel, and then I look out I went in the room, and I put my phone on the ironing board, and that's where it was, because at that point, I had told her, I can't sit here on the phone with you. I had 2 crying babies. I need to do something with them.
When you heard the pop and y'all jump up, where is JJ standing in comparison to your bed?
So if this is you're the ottoman.
I'll tell you what.
This is the bed. Okay.
Does that work for you?
That'll work for me. So this would be the entry point, the door, and here is the nightstand. Right. Here is the bed, shoe ottoman, little fireplaces of the little nightstand. So after we're in the bed, so then JJ is now standing about here, over in this area. So I'll do this for JJ. And all of us are in the bed. So TJ and...
Okay. Draw me an X where y'all had left the gun. I think you told me it was on the nightstand.
It's on the nightstand over here. I can't tell you, it's a lot of stuff on the nightstand, so it's probably like right in here somewhere, I guess.
Okay.
Me guessing, it's over here somewhere. Because the holster was over there somewhere too.
Okay.
What about when you took the gun, or when you or Jay took the gun from
He
JJ?
took him from the first time, and then that's when he put him on the nightstand, because in the beginning it was over here. He sleeps on this side of the bed.
Okay. He sleeps on the right side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you sleep on the left side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you sleep nearest the door?
Yes.
Okay. All right, where was Jay when he got shot? Was he on his side of the bed or your side of the bed?
No, he had came on my side of the bed, because we were kind of like...
Cuddling?
Yes.
Okay.
You can say that.
Okay.
Just playing around.
Yeah.
Because all of us were in the bed. So
Yeah.
they like to wrestle with their daddy when they see their daddy because of how his schedule is.
Yeah.
Do you remember how he was laying in the bed when the shot happened? I mean, was he oriented where his head was up by the pillow and feet?
I think... I'm trying to place this back in my head because, like I said, we was wrestling around, we were playing in the bed. I think it was more here because he was something that caught his attention on the TV. And I'm going to use this as my body. But I think Jonathan was back on this side and his arm was around me, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm laying this way, but his arm is here.
Okay. Where was his injury at? Where did he get hit?
Right here.
Was it a throat? Did it come out?
Mm-hmm. It came out. They said like by his wrist. Either it was this way. Yeah, it came out like by his wrist.
And that would have been the arm he had wrapped around you.
This way.
But you're fine.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. Because I had them to look at my back because I thought maybe it grazed my back.
But it didn't?
No, they said that Ball and them looked, they said I was fine.
Okay. Alright, so we talked about where JJ was standing. Describe for me how he was holding the gun. If you can remember.
After we heard the pop,
Yeah.
we kind of like grabbed the gun, so I can't even tell you what his position was.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if I would have saw him with it prior to, we would
Sure.
be sitting here.
Who grabbed it from JJ? Was it you or was it Jay?
And I don't remember. But I don't know. However, Jonathan did get the gun.
Okay. And then where did Jonathan put the gun? While you were getting the towel and the babies and all that?
I don't know, because when we came back in, I had to ask, Ball and them asked me for the weapon. And I think it was on the floor at that point.
Okay.
Because I think that's where they got it from. Because I told them it's probably got to be in the bed with him somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
Have the kids ever gotten the guns before like this?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we have Nerf guns in the house, but
Yeah.
no.
Where did he work before DNR? Was he in law enforcement or?
He worked at the prison in Valdosta for a little while, but then he's a retired, well, not retired Marine. He was a Marine.
I got you. Yeah, I saw his tattoo and I asked him about it.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Let me get your signature on that line right there. Just show them where you drew that and I did it.
Hello?
Hey.
Hi.
Alright, so where are you at with this one?
Let me call you back in a minute because we're just out here now talking with Tiffany.
Anything that we haven't asked you that you think we need to know?
No,
Okay.
I told you about the rest of his guns. That's
Alright.
in there. For you to know.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Okay. You have any questions for us? You may already have their numbers. I'm going to give you mine too, just in case.